So maybe one last question that I just feel like I'm actually getting the answers.
You are?
But I just a little bit of clarity.
Yeah?
So our work is in education, and we actually call it the movement of leaders to create education opportunities for more children to get educated.
Yeah.
And so,
however, you're not creating them. The children are.
Yes.
You are a cooperative component to what they're asking for. Don't get that mixed up. Don't get that mixed up, because there's no assertion. You cannot assert these opportunities into the lives of these children. They are asking for them, and you are a cooperative component to what they are summoning from the universe.
and it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
It gives me
Yeah.
so much joy.
Yeah.
So I guess as I work with my countrymen to cooperate with what these children are asking, sometimes I receive resistance from the leaders or
because they don't realize for themselves how much selfish satisfaction they can get from hooking into those desires. Sometimes people think that there's so many people that are struggling so hard, and everybody's asking for something, and they feel depleted because people need it there and people need it there, and how can we give? But when you're able to orient them to the awareness that satisfaction comes from one place and one place only, and that is moving toward who you really are, and so you can make it personal to them because it's personal to you. And this is what we mean, not personal in the sense that you are helping other people's lives, personal in the sense that that's who you were born to be, and when you're being it, you feel great, and when you're not being it, you don't feel so good. And these other people were born to be that too. That's the part of them that you want to awaken. They're stagnant in that understanding, and you're wanting to introduce your life-giving knowing so that that stagnation is replaced with that memory of who they really are and what they are really about.
that is awesome. So how do I do that continuously without being, they don't get it and I just want...
By not letting yourself notice that they're not getting it, by emphasizing so much what you are feeling. Esther and friends were walking through the village where the shops are, and Esther was noticing the sidewalks were sort of uneven, and so she was taking care to where she was putting her feet. So they were there for an hour or two or three in and out of shops, and they came out of a shop and were walking down a street, and just a few feet ahead of them, a woman tripped over one of those stones and went right down hard. Boom! And she went, as the air went out of her. And of course, the three of them approached her right away, and they said, just stay right where you are. Just stay there for a minute. No reason to try to get up right now. Just stay right where you are. And she did. She just stayed right where she was. And Esther said, where do you hurt? Because she was wondering if her wrists had been broken or her elbows. And she said, my stomach, which is what she'd landed on. And Esther said, that's great. That's really, really good that that's what hurts. So just lay there for a minute. And when you feel like getting up, we'll help you up. And so she got up, and she was amazing. She got up and she was resilient, and she brushed herself off and got herself back together, and off she went for more shopping. It was really a delightful thing to see. And Esther and her friends felt their greatest exhilaration of the day because they had focused upon something with an intention of it. In other words, there was a big question asked right there. In other words, boom. Most people don't get right up. Boom. But it was so exhilarating to focus upon the desire for well-being for someone and then witness the well-being in someone. Esther felt more exhilarated than she had all day. Something about having something important to give your attention to. None of them were worried about her. They were promoting well-being, which is sort of odd to be in a situation where you are actually promoting well-being under those circumstances, but not one of the three of them was worried about anything. And so, again, a scanty example in comparison with what you are talking about, but identical. If the problem doesn't look so big that it is daunting to you, you can be of such enormous value that the solution will be immediate. But if you let the influence of them, if you let their suffering get you all twirled up, and then you're suffering on their behalf, you've got nothing to give them. Yeah.
And I've noticed that happen with my own family because I deal with children, or I support children who also lost their parents to the scourge of AIDS, and sometimes I feel like I want to control that, but I learned yesterday. That's why most of my questions I can't control their experience.
Not only can you not control it, there is no part of you that really wants to, if you're under the influence of source, because the source energy part of you doesn't want to control anything, just wants to promote the well-being that is natural. And when you find yourself wanting to control, you always know you're out of whack.
Yep, actually no, because it feels terrible. Thank you so much.
We'll do it vibrationally. How's that? From the inside out. From the inside out. So there you are. There you are. More.